ABC News exclusive. It was stunning when one of the most powerful men in the country, the governor of New York, Eliot Spitzer, announced that he had been hiring young women from an escort service. And by the way, he's a former prosecutor as well. But what about the young woman who was at the center of that storm? We heard some things about her, that she was from a good family in New Jersey, her stepfather, an oral surgeon. For 3 years now, I have been following the lives of young women who find themselves ending up in prostitution, asking the question why. And this morning, for the first time, Ashley Dupré is going to begin telling you about hers. In the firestorm of headlines, all we knew about the woman at the center was from her webpage. Billed as a worldly sophisticate who loved fine wines and travel. Someone who was fully in control, a girl named Kristen. And Kristen?
Yes, I was Kristen.
She says her real name is Ashley Dupré. She was 22 years old and says she didn't even know that her client was the governor.
I turned on the TV and I said, oh, what did I get myself involved in? And I felt like everything slowed down around me, and it was just the TV and and I was shocked. That's when I found out what I was involved in. I didn't know the depth to my situation. That's when I found out who it was. When I connected the dots was when everyone else found out.
Hadn't seen him in the paper?
No. He looked familiar, but I was 22 years old. I wasn't reading the papers. I was so involved in my life, and I was so selfish and caught up in my life, and I didn't know who he was. And I was whoever they wanted me to be, and he was whoever he wanted to be.
And so when you watched the two of them on television, the governor and Mrs. Spitzer.
In the past few days, I've begun to atone for my private failings with my wife.
What were you watching?
Her face.
Why?
I felt connected to her. I didn't feel connected to him. Her pain, and I just saw the pain in her eyes.
In the scalding scandal, the governor was surrounded by advisors. The 22-year-old young woman fended for herself. Who did you call first?
My mom.
What'd you say to her?
Are you sitting down? She was upset, shocked. I mean, like any mother would be if they heard the news that I delivered to her.
She had no idea. Read someplace again that you called your biological father too.
Yeah.
What'd you say to him?
I said, Daddy, I'm in trouble. I don't know how big, but I know that I'm in trouble.
And what about the stepfather who had helped raise her from the time she was 7? Your stepfather, what has he said to you?
He was so disgusted with me when everything happened, and now it's getting better, and we're working on our relationship. But he's been there, and he's supporting me the best way that he can. You know, everyone deals with pain and anger in a different way. I can't be angry at him that he can't like come and save me and you know, hug me and it's gonna be okay. He couldn't do that in the beginning, but now he has been. It's little steps.
She says she had left her escort work for months and months and had only returned 4 weeks when she had that appointment with the governor. She said she found going back was harder than she expected. It's there in her journal where she writes, "Today was my first night back at the agency. It was really difficult for me.
I don't remember it being this hard. It used to be easy for me. I never really thought about what it was that I was doing.
Tonight, she talks about her choices and why she thinks it could have been any girl next door. At home, a lot of people are saying, well, I would never have made that choice. But that's just a line I would never have crossed. And one girl's life in the escort trade. You say the work, but you haven't said the words.
The work.
Prostitution.
Escort.
Escort. What's the difference?
Escort.
What's the difference?
I think it's the same, perhaps.
Any difference in your mind, though?
Yes, I think that prostitution is only about sex, whereas an escort is more, it's time spent, it's a lot more than that.